The January Grand Sumo Tournament in Tokyo is underway. We just wrapped up day 5, so let's take a look at who's off to a hot start, who needs to pick up the pace, and how our wounded Yokozuna are doing. This and more coming up right now. We start off with a look at the leaderboard, and we're down to just 2 undefeated wrestlers, Oshoma and Abi. The 28-year-old Oshoma is easily off to his fastest start since reaching the top division in May of 2024. Prior to this, the Mongolian had never won more than 3 wins to open a tournament. But he's had 5 match winning streaks 4 other times in his career, and in all 4 of those tournaments, he's had at least 9 wins, and he's reached 10 twice. Now the question is whether he can keep feasting, because that means much stiffer competition will come later in the tournament. And he doesn't have the best track record against the top of the makuuchi. Just looking at his 3 tournaments ranked in the Joy, he's combined for just an 11-34 record. For Abi, this is the 5th time he's opened a tournament 5-0. He's been looking more like the Abi who's been a staple in the Joy over the last few years. He's quicker and his attacks are more impactful than what we've seen over the last 2 tournaments. And at Maegashira 12, he's facing opponents he should be able to beat. If he can keep up this momentum, I can see him staying among the leaders entering the final week of competition. Behind them are 7 wrestlers who are tied at 4-1, including both Yokozuna, the reigning champion Aonishiki, both Sekiwake, and former Ozeki Asanoyama. So with that, let's jump and take a look at the banzuke. We begin with the Sanyaku. Entering the basho, both Yokozuna Hoshoryu and Onosato were dealing with injuries. Hoshoryu reportedly suffered from a torn left meniscus, and Onosato is recovering from a separated shoulder that knocked him out of day 15 in November. While rumors of their demise seem to be greatly exaggerated, as both started off strong with 4-1 records. As did newly promoted Ozeki Aonishiki. The 21-year-old Ukrainian picked up where he left off in November. It's his 4th 4-1 start in his 6 makuuchi tournaments. He's won at least 11 in all of them, so it's safe to assume he's on pace for the same here. The other Ozeki, Koto Zakura, is 1 off their pace at 3-2. The 2 Sekiwake, Kirishima and Takayasu, are both 4-1. However, the Komusubi wrestlers aren't doing as well as the rest of their Sanyaku counterparts. Oho opened up the tournament 0-3 before back-to-back wins over Aonishiki and Kirishima, and Wakamoto Haru is still looking for his first score in the win column. He's off to his worst start ever in the top division. Jumping to the top of Maegashira, none of the wrestlers from Maegashira 1-6 have picked up more than 3 wins. But Yoshino Fuji has been the most impressive of that group. The 24-year-old defeated both Hoshoryu and Onosato to pick up a pair of Kenboshi, gold stars awarded to Maegashira level wrestlers who beat a Yokozuna. Haku no Fuji is off to a decent start in his first tournament with his new name. His first 5 opponents were all in the Sanyaku, and he came out with a decent 3-2 record. Ichi Yamamoto, who's at a career high rank of Maegashira 1, is off to a rough start at 1-4. He fought the 4 Yokozuna and Ozeki plus Yoshino Fuji, so his schedule should be considerably easier over the final 10 days. Daisho is also struggling in his return to the Joy, losing 4 straight since his day 1 win over Atami Fuji. But who's doing worse? Well, that would be Ura and Takanosho. The 2 veterans are both 0-5 to kick off their campaigns. Takanosho continues his terrible run when he's ranked in the Joy. He has not pulled off a winning record over his last 7 tournaments, and it's the 2nd straight time he's opened with 0 wins in the first 5 days, and 3rd in 4 tournaments when ranked in the Joy. Moving down to the middle of Maegashira, we start with the youngest and one of the smallest wrestlers in makuuchi. 20-year-old Fujinokawa is off to a fast start for the 2nd consecutive tournament. After losing to undefeated Oshoma on day 1, he won 4 straight to stay just 1 back of the leader. Former Ozeki Shodai is 3-2, and fun fact, since March of 2024, in the 5 tournaments he's had a winning record through day 5, he's finished with a Kachikoshi. The other 6, he's had losing records. Toki Hayate, Koto Shoho, and Nishiki Fuji are also sitting with 3 wins. Meanwhile, Gonoyama and Kinbozan are struggling at 1-4 apiece. At the bottom of Maegashira, we start with Asanoyama. The 31-year-old former Ozeki lost on day 1, but he has come back to win 4 in a row in his return to the top division. He's beating the wrestlers who he should beat. However, if he continues this pace, his real test will be in the final week when he takes on higher ranked wrestlers. The man who gave him that one blemish? Well, that would be Oshiumi, who's off to a 4-1 start himself. He's picked up where he left off in November when he won 6 straight to save his spot in makuuchi. Over his last 11 matches, he's 10-1. Veterans Tobizaru and Ryuden are struggling early with 1-4 records. As for the rookies, Asanoyama has cooled off from his hot start. After winning his first 3 matches, he's lost back-to-back. But it's not as bad as Hatsuyama, who's still searching for his first top division win. Let's move on to some quick predictions. Will Abi and Oshoma stay atop the leaderboard after day 10? Well, I think Abi will. If whatever was ailing him over the last few months is gone, he should wipe the floor with the lower middle of the division. And if he can carry that momentum and pick up a couple of wins against the top tier fighters, he'll be in the Yusho race. As for Oshoma, I don't think he'll be able to keep up this momentum, especially if he has to fight the Sanyaku. In November, he went 0-6 against them. He's shown he has a ceiling. 10 wins for January? Sure, that's doable. But a Yusho contender? That's a whole other animal. Who's primed for a strong run over the next 5 days? I feel like Yoshino Fuji can do something special. His 2 losses were to the 2 Ozeki, and then he beat both Yokozuna. He's a good fighter, and now that the senior Sanyaku are out of his way, look out, there's a storm coming. I also think Daisho can turn things around. He's looking more like himself and that pusher thruster power is returning. It's only a matter of time before he puts everything together. Who's in the most danger of dropping to Juryo? I'll start with Hatsuyama. I said he was going to struggle in his top division debut, and I was right. As the lowest ranked wrestler in makuuchi, he'll likely need 8 wins to keep his spot, and I can't see him going 8-2 in the final 10 days. I'll also say Ryuden. The lower part of the rankings is stronger than it usually is, which puts someone who's been bouncing between Juryo and makuuchi over the last year at risk. If he finishes 7-8, I think he stays, but 6 more wins is a lot to ask. Will Enho return to the Sekitori? The small 31-year-old fan favorite is ranked in Makushita 11 this tournament. After suffering a spinal cord injury in 2023, he dropped all the way down from the top division to Jonokuchi, the lowest of Sumo's 6 divisions. He's been slowly clawing his way back up. He's 2-0 right now, but if he wants a promotion to Juryo, he pretty much needs to be a perfect 7-0 this tournament. Since 1958, only 12 wrestlers have been promoted from Makushita 11 to Juryo, and 10 of them went 7-0 with a Yusho. Who's winning the top division title? I said Kirishima going in, and I'm sticking to my guns. He's looked strong early on, and at 4-1, he's right there in the mix. But we're only through day 5, and there's a lot of sumo still to come. And that was my day 5 update for the January Basho. So what was your favorite match of the tournament so far? Let me know in the comments below. I really liked the Kirishima Wakamoto Haru bout on day 4. And if you like what I do, please consider liking and subscribing to the channel, and I'll catch you next time.